our engagement in the policy making and political process. Well, tonight we are here with the young and fabulous. We are at Club KISS in Castleberry Hill. We're having a discussion about the presidency of Barack Obama. What grade would you give him? And we're about to hear what everyday folks like you think. We also have two special guests with us, Donovan and Jim Duffy. They're going to introduce themselves, and we're going to start talking about the presidency of Barack Obama. Did we get the change we expected? Stay tuned.
Special thanks to Club KISS, Salon and Spa in Castleberry Hill, Uptown Chic Promotions, and House of a Dream Boutique.
Chuck Donovan speaking, Libertarian candidate for U.S. Senator in 2010 and current blogger at donovanforliberty.com. Did we get the change we were expecting? I got most of what I was expecting from Barack Obama.
Jim Duffy speaking. I'm the State Director for Georgians for Fair Taxation. We are an apolitical, nonpartisan group looking to promote the fair tax for the nation to replace our very evil income tax system that we currently have.
Emmanuel Morrell speaking, entrepreneur and blogger at The Partisan Brawl. You can find us on Facebook. Barack Obama's done an incredible job considering the information that he was given.
I think people have to take into consideration all of the details of Barack Obama's presidency in full. And we have to take a strong initiative in investigating all of the information instead of just taking it from whatever media sources are just saying that he's doing a bad job in order to expedite their own political gains.
Kenton speaking. Hello, my name is Kenton Wainwright. I am a former coordinator for Kasim Reed, along with Rashad Taylor and District 3 representative at City Hall, Ivory Young. And I know the big question is, did we get what we wanted out of Barack Obama? We're not in a great depression, and so I feel that we did, and I feel that he prevented that.
Jermaine speaking. I'm a realtor with Keller Williams, specializing in short sales and REOs. I do believe we are beginning to see the change that Barack Obama promised us, with over 4 million jobs created in the first 4 years. I believe in the next 4 years we'll see even more jobs created.
Ian Shelby speaking. I am a videographer, camera operator for a large movie production.
This is David Harley speaking. I'm a small business owner here in Atlanta. I think things haven't gotten worse, but it's still some work. There's still some tuning left, and hopefully we can get that in the next term. But it still needs some work.
Jamie Dion speaking. My name is Jamie Dion. I'm a communications manager for the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development. Have we received the change we're looking for or expecting from President Barack Obama? I can't say for certain. This is pretty much my first time voting. I guess the best thing for me to do is to look at how my parents have progressed from the different presidencies. You take into consideration my current job working for HUD and take a look at foreclosures. The amount of foreclosures have not risen as much, so that's a great thing for our current presidency and for our younger generation.
Sarita Shrod speaking. I am very proud to be here today. I am a financial advisor for Transamerica Financial Advisors, and I think that Barack Obama has done a wonderful job so far for the 4 years that we have given him. Right now, he has done a lot of reconstructing, and I think right now he needs 4 more years to do the real work.
Well, you have heard from our two special guests, Jim and Chuck, and you also heard from the young and fabulous. Well, it sounds like from the young and fabulous, generally they're happy with the presidency of Barack Obama. We have one let's wait and see, because it sounds like President Barack Obama has not quite delivered on everything for that young and fabulous. Well, Chuck, tell us, why is it that President Obama has performed as you expected? What did you expect?
During 2008, I listened to candidate Obama. I paid attention to his speeches, as well as the speeches of the other candidates, and I actually participated in supporting the Libertarian candidate. I don't think that he lied during his candidacy, and I think that he has actually worked on the things that he said he would work on. However, as an anti-war candidate, I'm very disappointed with the fact we're still in Afghanistan. We're still taking casualties there. As someone who's very concerned about the national debt, I cannot believe that he has not taken his political power, of which he had plenty in the first 2 years in particular, and not forced them to come up with a reasonable, logical budget. And finally, I expected a better job by him in civil liberties. I thought that as a young man who had the kind of experience that he had, that he would back off the so-called war on drugs, and in fact, he's actually put more people in jail with that. One last thing, I thought that he had a wonderful opportunity as a man with a great amount of charm and charisma to really unify people, particularly in light of the Bush administration that was such a deeply dividing force. But I'm sorry to say, I think he's actually divided the United States.
Jim, do you agree with that assessment that Chuck just shared with us? That there are a lot of disappointments, but overall, Barack Obama has pretty much worked on the things that he promised during his campaign.
Well, I agree to some extent with what Chuck's position is, but I would take it a little bit further. And I look at the regulatory environment much more closely as a funder of small businesses and entrepreneurs as one of my major focuses. And right now, as Bernie Marcus with the Home Depot said, he could not start a Home Depot in this regulatory environment. One of the main issues is a law called Sarbanes-Oxley that was started back in 2001 that came out of the Enron scandal. And because of the issues that are subjected to small business from that particular law, the accounting procedures are just prohibitive when you get to a certain level. So he has, in my mind, created a much more onerous regulatory environment pretty much across the board.
Emmanuel Morrell speaking. I think that that's a very short-sighted estimation to say that Barack Obama somehow is dividing the country. When you think about the nature of the news medium and how the news has been used recently, particularly to this particular presidency's administration, you can turn on Fox News, and at any given moment on Fox News, you'll see just berating and just damaging criticisms of the presidency. Not just of the presidency, but of the man himself. Just 100 days into his presidency, there's reels that you can find on YouTube about this. They would relentlessly attack and compare this man to people as evil, as the Antichrist.
But didn't we do the same thing with Bush?
I think that we were hypercritical of Bush based off of facts and information that we had at the time. And what differs with this particular presidency is that a lot of the presumptions that are being made are exactly that. They're meritless, and they're based on no facts or evidence to substantiate the claims whatsoever. Especially these atrocious claims that he's somehow turning the country into a socialist empire.
Kenton speaking. This is what I don't understand is when it comes to the performance of Barack Obama, is understanding how this is going to, and how some of his moves have they affected the common person. And yeah, there's people who can't start businesses, and that's true in this environment, in this climate. But understand, there's people who can't feed their kids either. I'm in the southwest of Atlanta, and this is something that might be a little self-centered for me to say this, but all those little neighborhoods, they're not as fancy as those places up in Buckhead. We're talking about the options that we have right now between Obama and Mitt Romney,
and Gary Johnson and Jill Stein.
Exactly.
And who?
Gary Johnson is a Libertarian candidate. Jill Stein is a Green Party candidate. Of course, as a Libertarian, I hesitate to mention some other party, but these are the people who voters in Georgia and around the country are going to see on their ballots. I think they ought to at least be discussed. Only people like you, Prez, have actually decided to actually bring up the subject of these other candidates. They've been cut out of the national debates.
We Speak is at Club Kiss Salon and Spa in Castleberry Hill, where you can not only look fabulous, you can participate in a fabulous discussion. Stay tuned and hear what the rest of our guests